The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's the week of November 3rd, 2019. My name is Taylor Cooper. With me, as always, Kevin Reevy. What up, Reevy?
Hello, Governor.
What up, CJ?
What's going on?
This is Might Be Sports. We're sponsored by Eunomia CBD. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Enter MBN as the promo code. You're going to get 20% off. You're going to get free shipping, and you're probably going to get a bunch of free shit as well. Do it. Don't be silly. If you've been thinking about trying CBD, this is the time to do it. If you are a listener to our show, take advantage of the promo code. This shit is awesome. They got some new products. They got bath bombs. They got lollipops. They got multivitamin gummies. They're really doing the damn thing. eunomiacbd.com. That's EUNOMIA CBD.com. We're also available on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/MBN Network for bonus half hours to most episodes. For most all the shows. This one will be excluded from that. I have to go back to work because my job sucks ass. So this is going to be a quickie. But I just wanted to bring something up real quick before we jump into Guess the Spread. Kevin Reevy has been writing some absolutely stupendous articles.
I know, right?
For the Ace of Spades.
They're really good. They're really good.
It's really
if I
great.
can say so myself.
Like I've enjoyed each of them very much. You're a great writer. What's funny for me when I read your stuff is I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you because we do this together, obviously. And like for the last one about the running quarterbacks, especially, like I'm like reading it, but I'm listening to you the whole time.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that last year. So a lot of those arguments are in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I made like a Facebook post with, I'm going to say about like 15% of the article was in that Facebook post. And I just needed an inspiration for a new article. I'd done too much stuff on quarterbacks. Well, I guess I hadn't done too much stuff on quarterbacks, but I'd done 3 articles for the aceofspader.com, and 2 of them it was a 2-parter on quarterbacks. And I just kept wanting to go back to the well on quarterbacks, and I'm thinking, well, how can I say something different? And I remember that I had talked about that on Facebook, and we had talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
So I kind of dug it up, and I'm like, all right, I can expand on this. And it's a story on the idea of the running quarterback and the difference, kind of drawing a distinction between the running quarterback and a mobile quarterback.
Right.
So for my purposes, I make them 2 separate arguments, where the argument I've always made is, in the short term, a running quarterback is great. In other words, a quarterback that doesn't primarily throw the football, which is what I think you have to call Lamar Jackson at this point. And Mike Vick was the same way. Parts of his career, you could say Randall Cunningham in the early part of his career. That was Vince Young. Actually, it was Russell Wilson a little bit in the beginning of his career. And you can see if you have that style, it's a simple argument. If you have that style, it's never worked in the history of the NFL. Nobody has sustained a career doing that, at least in the modern day version of this game.
Right.
The passing game. So nobody's ever done it. So we're supposed to believe that Lamar Jackson would be the lone exception to that rule, which I think is silly, because I think Mike Vick in his prime is better than Lamar Jackson is right now. Whenever there's something new out, people want to say it's
the greatest.
The greatest.
Yeah.
We kind of play on that, the greatest of all time of the week.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming up later. So it's just playing the odds.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is eventually going to get exposed unless he develops his game a little bit more like Russell Wilson did. Aaron Rodgers, to a lesser extent, he stopped running the ball as much. It's okay to be a mobile quarterback. You want to be a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you can find a happy medium, even if you're running more than you pass, it's amazing. You can really succeed in the NFL. But 2 things are likely to happen in the long run. You're going to get exposed, defenses are going to stop you, or you're going to get hurt. It's like one or the other. That's what happens every time. Vince Young, his career was done after like a year and a half. He had some success and it was over. That's it.
Right.
Mike Vick had spurts, but then once defenses get used to what he's doing, again, it's over. You have to develop more aspects of your game. You have to throw the football, especially nowadays. So I think it's weird. I wrote the article before the Ravens played the Patriots, and you could say, well, I look like an idiot now because the Ravens beat the Patriots. But if you look at the stats, Jackson threw for like 175 yards, 1 touchdown. He ran for 2, but he ran the ball 16 times for a 3.8 yard average.
Yeah.
That's a running back.
Right.
It's not even a good average for a running back. So
No.
16 times a game, you're going to run him 16 times, and you're going to expect he's not going to get beat up.
I think, I agree with that logic. And one thing that we talked about with Lamar Jackson, might have been as early as last week, is just his elusiveness and the way he sees the field. And that's something that you can't coach necessarily. That's something that I think is different for every one of these running, quote-unquote, or mobile quarterbacks, is the way that they see the field. And you watch Lamar Jackson running the ball, and he just throws on the brakes like nobody else. I mean, he's making people miss entirely, right? And I think in Lamar Jackson's case, with you, is that you're wrong until you're right. Because right now, he's on this roll that could last all season. And if it does, I think that they will go further than they have with him last year. However, if you're right before the end of the season and that wears out and he gets hurt, then everybody has to be scratching their head. Everybody has to be, all right, if we're looking at Lamar Jackson, you're looking at Patrick Mahomes, who's missed, 2 weeks? You looked at Carson Wentz, 2017. You look at RG3, and there's a whole list of them. Cam Newton now. They're all going to get hurt eventually, one way or the other. It's just how long can they sustain that? How much can they add to their team? How much can they do? I mean, because I'm looking at this Patriots game, and granted, I didn't watch the game. We were at the Fleetwood Mac concert, which was great.
Are you serious? That's weird. All right, because I'm just going to interject real quick.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with the Fleetwood Mac just randomly for the past 3 days.
Really?
So the fact that these are things that, how weird things happen. You try to explain it to somebody and they go, oh, cool. How about that? It's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Why would I ever randomly be obsessed with Fleetwood Mac?
Did you hear a song of theirs on the radio and you're just like, oh my God, I just got to keep listening?
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. There's a bunch of 80s songs.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because there was a concert going on. It was just randomly in there on the hour drive to work. And I'm like, I kind of dig this song. Now, I haven't been listening. I've basically been listening to 1 or 2 songs. That's it. I know Fleetwood Mac and all that, but for some reason this song has hit me really strongly. It's makes me saying this song out loud makes me sound like a wuss.
You don't have
so I'm gonna try to say it badass. You know that Fleetwood Mac, John, that You Make Love and Fun? Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Yeah, it's great.
You make love and fun.
Yeah,
that's
you make love and fun, yo.
Yeah, that's a good song. That's a good track.
Love should be fun, all right?
You're right.
Back off. No, it's a good song.
They put on a great show.
It's got a killer bass lick in there.
Yeah.
And it's about loving and
making it fun
and learning. And I mean, what else are we here for?
Fleetwood Mac, the songbirds of a generation. They put on a great show. I was kind of checking the score for the Patriots game, Patriots-Ravens game during it, and I was shocked. I mean, we talked about it last week. We both thought that this was a big test for Lamar Jackson. This was a big test for the Ravens.
We talked about how Tom Brady doesn't look the same. The Patriots haven't been tested, so it's not a huge shock. I would have thought they'd be able to shut down Jackson, but again, I have to see what happened in that game because it's getting harder to look at stat sheets anymore and figure out what the hell's going on because I'm looking at Jackson's game. Didn't throw for a bunch of yards. Didn't really run for a bunch of yards. I don't think anybody on that team had 100 yards rushing. Maybe 101.
Ingram had 115.
Okay, so 115.
On 15.
I guess when you add it all up.
Yeah.
But you're used to seeing a guy, like if you score 37 points or whatever, you're used to seeing a quarterback throw for 300 yards at least, or a running back go off for like 150.
Right.
So it's weird when like it's sort of divided up that way. But
they had 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. Lamar Jackson got 2 of their rushing touchdowns, and Gus Edwards got their other one, but Mark Ingram led the team in yards rushing with 115. And I think that Lamar Jackson allows for that. Like the way that he fits into their scheme, he opens it up. I mean, you look at, in contrast, the Eagles. They played a pretty good game on Sunday against a pretty good Bears defense. Mitch Trubisky is the biggest bust possibly in NFL history. That's just me. But it's crazy. You watch a team like the Eagles and they get a good thing going with the running game, and then Doug Peterson, as much as I love him, just totally deviates from the plan that's working. Just totally, he's like, well, I'm just going to try something completely different and just hope it works. And sometimes it does, but I feel like it hasn't been recently. Whereas the Baltimore Ravens really seem like they have an identity that they believe in, that they're sticking with, and that they're pursuing making it better. Because you look at Lamar Jackson from last year to this year, and the accuracy of his passes was just about non-existent last season, and you're seeing these passes that he's making this year, and it looks so much better. I mean, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a really long time in this league, and I think he's on the right squad to do it. It's just a matter of, like you said, and like the whole discussion is can he stay healthy? We both know, I think we both absolutely agree that style of play isn't conducive with having a long career in the NFL. It's just not. You look at running backs, you look at anybody who gets hit like that, and they're not in the league as long anymore. You see people retiring earlier and earlier now anyway, aside from stupid Tom Brady. But, that's the point. They've protected Tom Brady for his entire career for the most part, allowing him to play that long. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to play until he's 42. That's not happening. No one does that. I think that Lamar Jackson has a good couple years at this velocity as long as he can stay healthy.
And it's easy to say now because he's being successful and he's healthy. So he's not hurt. He's healthy, successful right now, and that's all we can focus on is the right now. It's so much easier to focus on what's going on right now than the potential of what happens down the road. But if I can just say, actually in the title of the article, it was, I think, the case against the running quarterback, a case for Colin Kaepernick. Now, the reason why I did that and why it's probably more about Jackson than Kaepernick, but the idea was I believe Kaepernick should be signed because of this short-term value of the running quarterback. And like I said, the two things that happen, the defenses either adjust or you get hurt. When Colin Kaepernick, quote-unquote, retired, whatever it was, he was the best running back and quarterback by far. And he was successful at it. He had reached the Super Bowl. I mean, he had a lot of success with that style of play.
Without really getting hurt, too.
And that's the thing. So what happened? The other option. Right. The defenses figured him out. Yeah. And his passing ability, he was by far the best running quarterback in the league and by far the worst passing quarterback in the league. And what came out of that was like 2 wins in 2 years. Not good. And I think it would be tough to say Lamar Jackson is that much better than Colin Kaepernick at running the football. I'm not sure he is.
Yeah,
I think they might be the same. Kaepernick potentially might have been better at running the football. I don't know. Jackson's having a lot of success with it right now, but for sure I can say Vic was better. I mean, Vic was one of a kind.
Yeah.
And I just think that's 2 examples, 2 times where you've got quarterbacks that tried to run the ball and they either get hurt or they get figured out. There's a bunch of other examples in there, but those are 2 guys that are like exact clones of Lamar Jackson. Now, Vic had the opportunity to figure out how to throw the football. They put a team around him, an offensive line in Philly that allowed him to have success in the passing game. That was a new dimension to his game. But even then, he didn't have long-term success. That's a skill that I think it's been thrown around for the past 2 years, like how easy it is to just, teach someone a passing game. You just said, Mitch Trubisky, he's a pocket passer. And he can't do what he was drafted very high to do, pass the damn football. So why we think Lamar Jackson can just learn this overnight is insane to me. And again, you're just playing the odds. Like, what are the odds he's going to be able to figure out how to be one of the best passers in the league? What are the odds he's not going to get hurt? What are the odds that defenses aren't going to figure him out? And, everything changes.
Right.
It's, one example, but the playoffs last year when he was totally shut down, I think by the Saints, is that going to happen again? Right. I'm not sure that teams really have had a chance to figure him out yet. I don't think teams in the offseason were really game planning for the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I think they kind of figured he was going to struggle because of how poorly he played at the end of last year. So now that Lamar Jackson's in the MVP discussion and, let's say going into the playoffs where every game obviously is everything, what happens then when they're game planning for this MVP?
Right.
And then next year, what happens when all these teams next year know and have it circled on the calendar when the Ravens and Lamar Jackson are coming to town? What happens then? They're just going to game plan it for it more. They have an entire offseason to figure out how to solve him. And I think they will. Or he's going to get hurt. And it seems so likely one of those two scenarios is going to happen because it's always happened that way.
Yeah. I guess time will tell. I have one more question, NBA related or NFL related, before we get into guess the spreads. We talked about the Patriots at length last week and the weakness of their schedule, and over the weakness of their division. However, their defense has been historic this season. Did the Ravens prove that they're bad, or was that just a fluke game?
I think it was more of a fluke game, but the Patriots are vulnerable. I think they'd been trying to lose games. Like, they were undefeated, but it was kind of weak. Like I said, they were playing weak competition, but also they didn't look real dominant in a lot of those games, especially the last few. So I think they were just due. And the Ravens are probably better than I thought. I didn't think the Ravens were good enough to beat the Patriots, and they did it fairly easily.
Yeah, they made it look pretty easy.
So I don't know. I think maybe Brady has lost more than I've been saying. The Ravens are a little bit better than I thought. I don't know if – I still don't think that power shifts because, last year I think the Patriots lost to the Dolphins, or was it the year before? Yeah,
they've lost to them, I think, the past couple of years.
Maybe the past couple of years. Yeah. So there's always examples of that, and we jump on and off bandwagons. We talked about this last week. It's getting so annoying how 2 weeks ago the Packers are the best team in the NFC, and now they lose to the Chargers, I believe. They've had a couple kind of weak – well, I guess, was it 2 weeks ago that Aaron Rodgers threw like 5 touchdowns, whatever it was, are the best team in the NFC, and now – they're kind of being forgotten about. They're getting tossed in with all the average
they just
teams.
got lost to the Chargers over the weekend.
Seattle was kind of in the same boat, and I think, ironically, they lost to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Now people are starting to wonder, is Seattle as good as everyone thought? And then, they got the Chiefs, by far best team in football, right there with the Patriots, and now, they lose Mahomes. Patriots, tough loss. Or either one of them is dominant as you thought.
Yeah.
It's a week-by-week thing, but you got to take the whole season into consideration. And remember that it's like 2 seasons, the first 8 weeks and the second 8, or if you want to say with the bye week, whatever. Everything just changes. There's always those hot teams at the end that figure it out.
Right.
The Eagles, when they won towards the end of the year, with Foles or Wentz, whoever you threw in there, that was a machine that just was not going to stop. They were on a mission.
Right.
So, I don't know. Somebody's going to come out of it.
Yeah, I was watching like people talking about it on TV, and they're just like, the Ravens-Patriots game. And they're just like, does any of this matter? Because the Patriots are probably just going to beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns in the playoffs.
Right.
And it's just, and I as soon as they said that, I was just like, yeah, you're probably right. But it's nice to dream. It's nice to dream that there's a power shift in the AFC at least, because for crying out loud, we've seen the same thing too much. You ready for Guess the Spread?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Chargers at Raiders.
That's a Thursday night game?
Yes, it is.
Yo, Derek Carr is undercover having like one of the best seasons of his career so far. And
yeah, but
it's like
the way the passing game is in the NFL right now, anybody can have good stats.
Yeah. You're
besides Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is not allowed to have good stats. He's not allowed to win football games this year.
He is so miserable, man. Oh,
I keep
bad.
thinking, as embarrassing as it has to be to have his commercials all over the place every game, it's got to be brutal for his sponsors.
Oh, it's bad.
And, that's fine. His checks are clearing, like he's getting money, but the sponsors have to be like, all right, do we have an out clause?
Right.
How do we get out of this for next year? Because you can't continue to do business with this guy.
Dude, it's bad.
He's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's
I
bad.
think, you talk about Trubisky and those kind of guys, but as far as quarterbacks that are still playing and still starting games, Mayfield, by far, the worst quarterback in the league.
Uninspired. Who do you think? They're playing the Chargers? Wait, what was the game?
Chargers at Raiders.
We're not even talking about either one of those teams. I'll go first. Chargers at Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders by 5.
You're crazy. I could win this by saying Raiders by 4, but you think the Raiders are favored in this? You're dumb.
At Raiders?
Yeah, they don't have a home field advantage.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The Chargers everyone loved the Chargers before the season, so maybe this is like getting back on the bandwagon since they're kind of on a quote-unquote roll. Chargers by 4.
Chargers by 1.
Ooh.
I thought it might be a little closer than that. I don't know where to go with that because I think the Chargers stink, and I thought the Raiders were better than bad. So where does that leave me?
Cardinals at Bucks.
I still believe in the Cardinals and their damn quarterback, who I guess I don't know what to think.
Not as good as Lamar Jackson. I'm just going to throw that out there. He's not.
He has way better passing skills, but it's from a tiny human.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray is just so small. And I am wondering, I've seen a little bit more of him play, and it was that game in the rain that scares me. We talked about this where I'm like, that was my first chance to really watch him play in the NFL. Hadn't seen a whole lot of him play. Just like online, like in like the preseason games and that kind of stuff, like you don't really get the gist of it when you're just watching highlights. But I'm like, where's this great arm I've been hearing about? This great NFL arm. And just his passes were shit. So I'm wondering if, when the weather's not great, that's not going to be good for him. And it makes sense. The guy's like 5'6" or something.
Yeah, he's tiny.
He's not that small, but he came in, measured like 5'10" and 1/8. Fuck off. There's no goddamn way he's that tall. We talked about this also. We're talking about a lot of stuff today we talked about before, but I remember when his number came out in the draft, it's like, oh man, he's 5'10". He hit that magic mark. You want to be at least 5'10" or whatever. And I'm thinking his only goal of the combine was to come in over 5'10". I'm sure there are ways to stretch you out 1 extra inch or 2. There has to be ways.
Torture rack.
I'm seriously. Or ways to manipulate it, like stand on your toes a little bit. I remember there was a famous video. I don't remember the boxer, but it was like a heavyweight fight. I believe boxing, could have been UFC. Guy comes out. He's like 2 pounds overweight. They say, all right, you have like 2 more shots. Comes out, 2 pounds overweight. He goes back, takes off all the clothes. He's coming out naked. They have a towel so that the whole crowd doesn't see that, his junk.
Yeah.
So he's holding on to the towel, And he comes in, boom, nails the weight. Well, yeah, because just that little bit of pressure on that towel can take a 245-pound man and bring him down to 244.
Right.
That's all it needs. And I'm sitting there like, really? Like, you're just going to let this guy just blatantly break the rules like this? That's insane.
Insane.
So if you could do that kind of stuff, I wonder, like, when the measurement goes down, how official it is and what you can and can't do. Because that dude is tiny. And it just makes sense that his hands would also be pretty tiny.
Yeah.
So I worry about him in the rain.
Where is this game at?
Tampa Bay.
So I think this is me. I believe in the Cardinals. I think bettors believe in the Cardinals. And I'm saying, man, it feels like a pick, but -1 Arizona.
I'm going Tampa Bay on this one
I can see that.
by 3.
Tampa Bay by 4.5.
Oh.
They don't believe in the Cardinals like I do.
Falcons
That
at
might be
Saints.
my bet of the week.
Falcons at Saints.
Yep.
Saints all day on this one, dude. Saints all day. I'm going to go by 10.
That's not bad. I can't see it being less than 10. I don't know. Matt Ryan's had a weird year. I will go, and I will say also 10 because there's no rules against it.
It's true.
Saints by 13.
Okay.
Ravens at Bengals.
Okay. Well, I don't even know who the quarterback of the Bengals is.
It's not Andy Dalton anymore, right?
And that's what's crazy is that Andy Dalton was having a way better year than Baker Mayfield. But it's just one of those things. Obviously, Mayfield's the number 1 overall pick. You can't really sit him. Or can you?
I don't know. I don't know if
who
they're
the-
going to play him or not.
Yeah, so, no, he's Dalton's done. He's not playing. Man, this is a cakewalk for the Ravens. It's at Cincinnati?
Yes.
This is going to be Ravens by 12.
I'll go Ravens by 10.
Ravens by 9.5.
Ooh, very close.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Bills
Yeah.
at Browns.
It's divisional. Bears at Browns.
Bills.
Oh, Bills at Browns. Even worse for the Browns. I'm going to go Bills by 5.
This game is going to be ugly. 2 bad teams. I think 2 bad teams.
The Bills are pretty good.
I think the Bills are overrated a little bit. They're not there yet.
If they weren't in the Patriots
might get
division,
there.
they'd be pretty good. Pretty good.
Their quarterback,
He's young.
not impressed.
Yeah,
He's
good.
not hitting his passes. That's the thing.
Yeah, his
He
accuracy.
can run.
Yeah.
He runs when he needs to.
He's got a killer
He's really
arm,
good
it's
at it.
just not accurate.
He's got great running instincts. So
Yeah.
the few times he does run, he gets down. He's one of those guys I hate that does that, like, because I think they use their ability to like slide, their instincts to slide. I think encourages personal fouls like those, the roughing the quarterback penalties. And I think they know that. They know when to go down when the defender, it's just too late. So he's really good at that. But, sheesh. What did you say? Or was this mine?
It's your turn.
And where's this at?
It's at Cleveland.
It's got to be Bills. But this is just one of those games where I think Cleveland's going to win by 28. And it makes no sense at all. But, I don't know, Bills by 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bills by 3.
Browns by 3.
Wow.
What? That doesn't make any
No.
sense.
No. I know.
I mean, they played the last game close.
I don't see it.
They lost, 19, 17, something like that.
I mean, I guess they're due.
Lions at Bears.
Oof. Dude, the Bears were supposed to be so good, and their defense is.
Yeah, I said on this show that the Bears might have one of those game-changing, league-defining defenses, like one of those, it doesn't matter what you're doing on offense, just keep it together,
Yeah.
and your defense will shine. And since I said that, they've played like shit. They played that. I
Dude,
think right after I said that, they lost to the Raiders.
Their quarterback is atrocious.
Really bad.
Like, really bad. Is it my turn or your turn? I think it's your turn.
And I didn't even really notice Khalil Mack and what his impact he made on the game
Against Philly.
too much against Philly. I didn't really notice.
He really
too much.
didn't have much. I mean, he had a couple tackles, a couple rushes, but, like, nothing.
All right, so this is Bears who?
Lions at Bears.
Lions at Bears. Stafford's having a good year.
The Lions
I
are
like the
better
Lions.
than their record, yeah.
They lost their running back, Kerryon Johnson,
Yeah.
which I think hurt.
Yeah, big time.
But, man, this feels like a pick.
I'm going to go Lions by 3.
Bears by 2.5.
No.
Giants at Jets.
God. The Jets are so bad.
That's a bad game.
The Jets are so bad.
Giants are pretty bad, too.
Oh, yeah, they're bad, but they're not Jets bad. The Jets, wow. Giants by 6.
No. I'm going to go pick again. I'm going to nail
There's
one of
no
these.
home field advantage on this. They both play in New Jersey.
Giants by 2.5.
Wow.
Dolphins at Colts.
Gotta be double digits. I will say Colts by. Oh wait,
They lost their quarterback, right?
right.
Yeah.
But who's there?
I don't know.
He came in and played well. Who was that?
I don't even know.
Look it up. Somebody look it up.
I'll look it up.
And I'm gonna kill time by talking about. Hey, go to CBD.com and check out all their awesome products. They got lollipops. They have gummy things, which are really delicious. And also go to mbnnetwork.com, the place where you can find your favorite podcasts.
Perfect job. Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer, he's super old, but
Threw
kinda good.
He threw 3 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, so that might.
He went
be,
17 for 26, 168 yards.
Oh, what is
That's very Lamar Jackson-ish right there.
They
That's
have
very
the old Eagles
Lamar
guy.
Jackson numbers there.
the old Eagles QB coach.
Yeah.
that they say is like the QB whisperer.
Yep.
So does Vegas believe in it? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say they have the Colts favored by 10.
Is this Colts at Dolphins?
No,
At
it's
Colts.
Dolphins at Colts.
I'll go Colts by 12.
Colts by 10.
Yeah! What does he win?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Panthers at Packers.
Panthers at Packers. They just put Cam on IR. I saw that.
Are we up to the Sunday night game? That sounds like a Sunday night game.
Nah, we're in the 4 o'clock game still.
Who was the teams?
Panthers at Packers.
Packers by. They got to win because they did. They looked bad
Two
last
teams
week.
I think are overrated.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm going to go with Packers by 4.
Packers are less overrated, so Packers by 6.
Packers by 5.
I was going to say 5. Damn, I would have hit 2 in a row.
Fuck.
Rams at Steelers.
All right, I'm higher on the Rams. They're coming off a bye week. I think they might be one of those teams that catches fire. They might be able to. They have all the pieces they had last year to really, just kill it offensively. And I think they're kind of getting on a roll. Hard to tell. Bye week doesn't really say much, but I believe in them. Rams by 5.
I'll go Rams by 4.
Rams by 3.5.
Ooh.
Vikings at Cowboys.
Vikings at Cowboys.
That's got to be Sunday night.
Yes, it is.
That's a Sunday night game. Vikings by 3.
Oh my God, I'm going to root for the Vikings so hard.
So hard.
Man,
So hard.
I have a Vikings Brett Favre jersey. I love that thing.
Yeah.
I'm a secret Vikings fan. So it's just, I'm on board. Can't stand Kirk Cousins, but, I still like the Vikings. Man, I don't believe in the Cowboys at all, but it's like one of those things where you hate them so much, you believe they're going to figure it out, even though my heart's telling me that the damn Cowboys are going to break it, and they're going to win. But my head says the Cowboys aren't that good.
Right.
Anyway, Vikings, it's in Dallas, right?
Yes.
I don't know. This might be Cowboys. I know the Vikings are a better team. All right, I'm going to hone in on this. I'm going to get this right. I know I'm going to get this right. Okay, the Cowboys didn't play that great last week, but they put up a lot of points. They were kind of losing the first half to the Giants. That's not good. Vikings still look pretty strong. I really want to get this right. All right, Vikings by 1.
Wow.
I feel honed in on this one.
Wow.
I think I got it.
What did I answer that? I don't even remember.
No,
what
you
I said.
didn't. Vikings at Dallas.
Vikings at Dallas. I'm going Vikings by 3.
Cowboys by 3.
No way. I just don't understand why.
No, doesn't make any.
Don't the Vikings look so much better than
so
the
much
Cowboys
better.
at this point?
They're fucking wrong. They're
Is
wrong.
that just? I mean, that's so weird. I don't get
Seahawks at 49ers.
Monday night?
Monday night.
49ers, the only undefeated team left.
it. I like the Seahawks.
I think that ends Monday night. I think the Seahawks win by 2.
You're up first on this one.
2. Seahawks by 2.
No, you're insane.
That's where I'm at.
It's going to be Niners by. I think the Seahawks win the game. It's going to be Niners by 4.
Niners by 6.5.
Well, I mean, Seattle doesn't look that good right now. They almost lost to Tampa Bay.
That's true.
Tampa Bay took them to overtime. I still think they got. I was saying yesterday, if I had one pick of any quarterback in the league from now for the rest of the year, I would take Russell Wilson.
I saw he is leading some people's MVP midseason poll right now.
Yeah, it's wild because
I don't see it.
Patrick Mahomes was running away with it.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, he could come back and still win MVP.
Yeah.
If he comes back and they win like they were beforehand,
Yeah.
before the injury, very strong case could be made because I think people were kind of wondering, is Andy Reid this like secret genius? How much of it is actually Mahomes? And now you're seeing, it might actually be a pretty significant amount.
Yeah.
They're still good, but man, they used to be dominant. And now they're just okay, and they're just getting by,
Right.
or they're just losing, which they're not used to doing either one. They have been dominant ever since Patrick Mahomes stepped into that starting role. So, I don't know.
Let's do some clickbait.
NBA's John Collins popped for synthetic hormone, suspended 25 games.
Synthetic hormones.
Yep.
25 games.
Yep.
I'm down with it.
Well, I think it's unfair because he took a supplement that he didn't realize had a banned, blah, 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 it wasn't my fault. Why is it always the same story? This is insane. They should be embarrassed to say this. I know they think that they're like, covering their ass by saying, I took a supplement. Usually I'm very, smart about what I put in my body, but this one supplement had an ingredient on the ban list. Like, you're just saying that you're an idiot. Because in every major American sport, there are programs in place to prevent this from happening. All you got to do is really just make a phone call. There's an app for some sports. I'm sure there is one for the NBA. Players can use the app and find out if the stuff they're using is banned or not. It's not that hard. When you admit that you took something without knowing, you're just saying you're an idiot. And I know the alternative is I'm a cheat. You put yourself into a position to say I'm a cheat or I'm an idiot. I mean, he should just own it. And I don't know, maybe he is an idiot, but say it.
Right.
Say I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. Here's what I could have done, and here's what I did. Or just say, yeah, try to get away with that one.
I don't even know how
Why doesn't someone just admit it? What can they do to you?
Yeah.
You're already, whether you did it intentionally or not, the penalty's the same.
Right.
You say, yeah, I tried to get one over on them.
Right.
They got me this time. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Fastest woman, Jesse Combs, front wheel failed during fatal crash.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Man, that's a real. I mean, I don't even know.
I don't know anything about her.
I know very little about her, but
Is she a drag racer? Is this is it NASCAR?
No, it's like
She was trying to break the world record.
it's like land speed shit. It's like
I
out
do
in the
remember
desert
this,
kind
okay.
of stuff. Yeah,
Well, those things are incredibly
dangerous. Yeah, it's a real shame.
There's an interesting movie coming out, Ford v Ferrari, by the way.
I'm excited for that.
Matt Damon, Christian Bale.
Yeah, looks really good.
Dude, the sport, motorsports, what it was 50 years ago, it didn't matter what type of racing it was. People just died all the time. They died just testing, just trying to get the cars better. Forget the race, just in testing. Guys would die.
Did you ever see that movie
all
Rush?
the time.
You ever see that movie
Yeah.
Rush? I love that movie. Love that
Great
movie.
example.
So good. Next.
Chargers, Dean Spanos. We're not moving to London. Total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, there was a story out that said, like a rumor that the NFL wants the Chargers to move to London.
Yeah, I saw something about that too.
Players are super against it, but I like the idea of a team. I never thought about it before until they started talking about the, I guess, Marlins maybe being a team that splits time in Miami and Montreal. And I kind of like the idea of a split city team. I never thought about that as a possibility before, but it makes a ton of sense. I mean, you have the opportunity. You're kind of like diversifying your fan base. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, I get it. If you're a popular team where you're at, Philly wouldn't want to just go give away 3 home games.
Jacksonville talked about doing it with London.
That's the thing. When your fan base is already garbage,
Yeah.
like if you're talking about, I guess Tampa Bay kind of has a history when they're good, they draw. But
I think the top 2 teams in London, like fan base wise, is the Jaguars and the Chargers. I think.
yeah,
I saw that they had
it
over
makes sense.
85,000 people at Wembley this past weekend for that Jaguars game.
Yeah, but they're wearing all sorts of different jerseys.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
they sell every jersey under
Yeah.
the sun before you go in there.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy thing. I don't know. That's a long away game. That's harsh.
I don't think it's that crazy. If you space it out, and let's say 3 games, you have 3 home games over there, I don't see it being that insane. And you just
If you did it that way, yes.
do it strategically.
But if you had like the London Chargers, that would be an issue.
I don't know if you would want to do it 4-4, but say 5 games in, let's just say for Jacksonville, because I think that would make more sense. 5 games in Jacksonville, 3 over there. You could space it out. 1 bye week, and then 2 weeks later, and then towards the end of the year. Something where it's really spaced out to a point where I don't think it, for sure you have 1 after a bye week. But why wouldn't that work? I think that works for everyone involved. Maybe give both teams that make that move a bye week. If you have to play them over there, you get a bye week. This could make more sense if they add a bye week, but I think they're actually trying to get rid of them. I don't know what the NFL is trying to do. It's weird. I would be for it if they add games, but add bye weeks so that you could do more of this international game thing. I love it. I love watching games at 9:30.
I do too.
Charles Barkley rips 76ers fight. That's a snuggle party.
Yeah, this bothers me so much that everyone was up in arms. 2 games suspension because they aggressively hugged each other. Are you serious? What's going on? I have ranted about this before, but look at the NHL. Look at boxing where you're supposed to punch the other guy in the face. That's your job, to end the other dude. UFC, you get to punch them, knee them, destroy their bodily organs. And when you just hug each other and just end up on the court, like there weren't really any slaps or punches thrown, not successfully.
No.
What was the big deal?
Right.
It was exciting. Let them do it. I mean, don't encourage it. You give them a suspension, says, all right, you don't want to do this kind of thing. But then I wonder, like, what are you taking out of the game now? So now the next time somebody hugs another player aggressively, they're going to be worried about getting a 2-game suspension. Screw that. Just have a hard line that says, hey, when you crossed it. And if you throw a punch, we already have that rule, you're out. But if it's not punches thrown, we know when it's bad. Like if you push a guy into like the stands or something. If you do something bad like a punch, we'll know it when we see it. But if it's what happened the other night, that's nothing.
Right.
That's a whole lot of nothing.
That being said, though, I can get down with 2 games.
But why?
What's
What's the point? I think it has the exact opposite effect you want. You want these. That was good for the NBA.
I agree.
You want those things. You talk about it all the time with Julius Erving, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, like how intense it was and how some of these guys just hated each other. And you want more of that in the NBA.
Right.
Now, when you see way too often, teams, players on different teams are friends. You saw that with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and everyone's wondering, they concocted that whole thing to be on the same team. They have the same agent. I think they're both. Are they Nike guys? I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I know LeBron is. I'm not
they
sure
have the
about
same everything.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I want to see guys in sports that hate each other. It's fun. Adds to it. In Survivor, there are no friends. When you get voted off, you share a beer, but you trust no one.
Next.
Just saying.
All right. Colin Kaepernick feeds supplies homeless on birthday in Oakland tent city.
I saw that. I'm thrilled that Colin Kaepernick continues to do a lot of the things that he's put his money where his mouth is and helping less fortunate people, and he continues to do a lot of things that he doesn't make super public. I mean, nobody really talks about it much anymore. He's rapidly approaching an age, though, where he will never be back in the NFL. Like, I pretty much have no hope that Colin Kaepernick will ever be back in the NFL, but I'll give it maybe another season before, I'm just like, that's over and done with. Over and done with.
I still love the conspiracy theory that he never intended for any of this to happen, and he was really sitting on the bench to protest being benched or treatment from his coach, something along those lines. I believe the protest had nothing to do with any of this at all whatsoever. That's just a fun thing I like to throw around in my head every now and then, which it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Because if he was really raising awareness, remember he was sitting on the bench during the national anthem for 2 or 3 games and nobody noticed? Because who cares? He was playing so bad. Nobody paid attention. And then when somebody asked him, they're like, well, I was waiting for someone to notice. Is that how you protest? Is that how it works? You just I don't think that's how it works. You're supposed to you make signs when you protest, big signs with poster board and magic marker, and you yell stuff.
Yeah.
You don't just sort of show up at the White House and just stand there at the gate. And then when someone says, yo, what are you doing here? Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been here for 12 hours and no one's asked me yet. Allow me to get my sign. I'll be right back. It's just weird. Just something I like to throw around. Something Do
you have any more, CJ?
I got one more.
One more.
Fortnite superstar Jarvis, lifetime ban for cheating. Epic Games doubles down.
This stuff is always so crazy to me because, I don't understand. I have no idea how to cheat at video games anymore. Like, it used to be that you put in these codes and stuff and you could do cool stuff like run around and never die or never run out of ammo.
Game Genie, man.
Yeah, Game Genie was the shit for sure back in the old school days.
Did though, and it's a good metaphor for life a little bit. When you use the Game Genie, it made you enjoy the game less. And you're thinking to yourself, oh man, if I have unlimited lives and I get all the weapons just by putting in the codes, then you're doing it and you're like, you don't realize that you needed that challenge.
Right.
Not being able to pass the 12th stage was it fueled you to keep playing the game.
Right.
And then once you threw in that Game Genie, it's oh, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
And you just don't realize it. It's counterintuitive, but it's such is life. You need resistance.
That being said, this guy, if he's cheating and he's one of the top guys to do it, bye, dude. I mean,
I can't stand pro gamers. I'm playing Mario Kart Tour on my phone every day, all day. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then I got an email, and I'm thinking I'm pretty damn good. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at it, top 3 maybe, but Then I get an email. It's like, oh, check where you are in like the top 1,000 Mario Kart Tour players. And I have like 17,000 points. And I'm like, well, let's see. How do you have 400,000 points? Like, what the hell is this? And it's like, either everyone's cheating or I'm no good at this. But now I feel like woefully inferior. This is like...
Well, he's probably out $1 million because if he's one of the top game players, he probably posts to Twitch and YouTube. And
speaking of that, it's so crazy now because you see like all the time these different gamers, they make a special announcement that they're exclusively on this streaming platform, or Ninja's exclusively on something Xbox related, I think, or he used to be, or something, I don't know. But they're all doing this big shit now, and it's crazy. Like Philadelphia is building a gaming stadium there, if you want to call it that.
Weird.
Center or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
I don't like it. It just makes me feel so inferior. It's like, imagine if you like lived in a bubble your whole life, and then you get to like 30-something years old, and then you see a porn for the first time, and you're like, oh man, that's what dudes look like?
Right.
This is what I look like. Oh no. Something's very wrong. It's exactly like that.
Let's do go to
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Hope you're listening.
Let's do go to the week. I got to go back to work.
Be Sports presents the greatest of all time.
Of the week, my clear cut go to the week this week. Deshaun Watson. The guy has had a mega performance over the weekend. I mean, it wasn't like his, career high or anything like that. But one thing that I forgot about was that he got kicked directly in the face the weekend before, during the game-winning drive at the end. Got kicked in the face to the point where he thought he lost his eye. And, I mean, you look at him this past week, and it's all swollen and fucked up. And this guy, he still had a crazy game. 22 for 28. He only missed 6 passes, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. I mean, 120 QBR or QB rating. Like, that's a perfect game. That's a near perfect game from somebody who literally almost lost his eyeball the year before, or the game before. And he's coming off of an injury from last season. Deshaun Watson, clear cut go to the week. I like watching him play a lot. I'm not a Houston fan at all, but I like seeing him do good.
He's got great instincts. He had a play last weekend where he was going to be sacked. He was just down. And this is when you can like separate guys and just clear cut say, all right, he's amazing. He's a prodigy at quarterback. He's being twisted around in the pocket. And you see him go up to throw the ball, and I'm thinking, oh no, this is always a bad idea. But last second, he finds somebody, throws it backwards, and think about how insanely reckless that play would be if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Eli Manning did this all the time, and it never worked out.
Right.
Because he's kind of an idiot.
This kid,
Deshaun Watson knew exactly what he was doing, and it was like a 20-yard play.
He did it all the time at Clemson, and it pissed me off all the time, every time.
He's got those instincts, like the eyes in the back of his head.
You're right. Prodigy is a good word for it.
And he uses it with a great arm. Yeah. He's like the total package. He's a really good quarterback. My go to the week is the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich because there's way too much shit about this Popeye bullshit. I've not had one. Has anybody actually had one? I mean, since when is the chicken sandwich like an iPhone release?
I'm pretty sure somebody got stabbed.
Yeah, someone just got stabbed yesterday
chicken
and died.
Sandwiches are being released like
someone died
waves.
over a Popeye's chicken sandwich. What can you say about Chick-fil-A?
And meanwhile, Chick-fil-A is over there with literally, me and CJ were talking about this yesterday.
Can't even get them on Sunday.
They literally might have the best chicken sandwich in the world, and it's fast food. And I know that's bullshit because you're going to find places in like Louisiana or something down south, like some really good southern fried chicken.
Like Popeyes.
But man, as far as like around here, like in the in the Northeast, you're going to find like that Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich is amazing. It's incredibly good.
It is good.
And it's got to be better than Popeyes.
Are you willing to die for a Chick-fil-A sandwich? Someone died for Popeyes.
They died?
Yeah, they died.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, they died.
Oh my God. Rest in peace.
Jesus died so we could not enjoy chicken sandwiches on Sunday, you could say.
No, we
But-
just can't enjoy Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches on Sunday.
But we just talked about it, that resistance, not being able to get your Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on Sunday, that by some percentage, some real percentage, makes you want Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches more
It's true.
Monday through Saturday.
It's true. I feel like I always want it on Sunday. It's like, what do you want for lunch? Oh, let's go to, oh, fuck.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I keep waiting for the day when they come out with like the bucket of fried chicken. I would love to see what their breading tastes like on bone-in chicken. If they did chicken wings, it'd be amazing. I don't know if we talked
That'd be
about this on the show before. I have no idea why we would. But did you know that when McDonald's came out with the chicken wings, do you remember this?
No.
They had the breaded
Yeah.
chicken wings about 5 years ago.
I do remember now.
And
yeah.
I would love to just skip the football shit altogether and next week for the acesbader.com, like do an in-depth piece on how McDonald's ruined chicken wings for the rest of us. There's a reason. You can find it 5 years ago. To that date, when McDonald's started buying up chicken wings is when chicken wings got more expensive. Think about it. Everywhere you go, doesn't matter where, they're at least $1 a wing. It wasn't that long ago when the idea of $1 a wing is insane.
Yeah, you're right about
And
that.
there are plenty of places that charge more.
Yeah.
Like a standard price. There's these places like Buffalo Wild Wings. The bullshit they charge by the pound? Fuck you. Tell me how many wings I'm getting, dick. That's insane. What if they're big boned? I don't know. But I'm just saying. I would love to do a story in depth when I think, and it's true, the chicken wing prices it's a fact. The chicken wing prices went up because, think about it, every McDonald's in the country all of a sudden is buying wings. That's going to change the market.
Yeah.
But I don't think the market ever corrected itself when McDonald's stopped doing the wings. The chicken industry is like, shit, people are still buying wings. Why would we lower the
Just
price?
keep
They're still
it.
buying wings. And we're dumb. We're still paying these prices because we're obsessed with chicken wings. I
Yeah.
think we got to fight back.
It's a novel idea.
What's Bernie have to say about that?
Jesus.
Get my vote.
We're out of here. Gotta go back.
If he
to
does
work.
something about the chicken wing industry, then I'm in.
Go to acespader.com. Check out all the stuff that Kevin Reevy's writing for them for Ace Spader. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Use promo code MBN. Get 20% off your order. Free shipping. Free shit. Kevin Reevy, great job this week.
Feel the burn.
Great job, CJ. We're out of here. Sorry for the short episode. I really got to go back to work. The shit sucks. Don't feel bad for me, though. Bye.